Welcome to our time with Realtor G. Today's guest is the one and only
Realtor Quinn for the win, Katherine Quinn. And I'm so excited. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for joining today. I'm so excited because Katherine, one of my best friends, she is a pillar to my real estate business because I met her back in 2017 when I got my real estate license, and she was my go-to person if I had any questions, and she's the one who taught me. She was there right by my side on my first listing appointment. I was so nervous. It was a house full of cats.
And probably some other things, but yes.
And quickly I was like, this is life as a real estate agent.
Yeah.
And so she's taught me and walked me through so much, and I'm so happy that you're here and able to talk to the audience about real estate today. We've spoken about estate law, we've spoken about mortgages, we've spoken about our 90-day plan and the journey. And Katherine here is a huge part of my journey, and I want you to learn about her journey as well.
Well, thank you again for having me. And I just want to say you're a huge part of my journey as well. You know, even as a new agent, when you were first starting out, you had so much to offer, and you still do. And we partner very well. So it's always a pleasure learning from you. She's got an app and a book for everything. But she constantly teaches me as well. So it's great that we can grow together. So it's been a wonderful experience.
Thank you, Katherine. That's amazing. So I do have a few questions. We're here today to talk about real estate. First question I wanted to ask, we wanted to talk about a little bit about the market, what we've been seeing, the trends, and I know like the areas that we work in is Suffolk County. We're east end of Long Island, in Shirley, Mastic Beach, Center Moriches, Manorville. Those are just a few of the towns that we focus in.
Yes.
And so Katherine, you can just tell us the trend that's going on in Shirley right now.
Yeah, so just focusing on Shirley, and obviously, you know, we could break it down whatever area you're in. The current absorption rate is 2.3 months. So that is the current inventory, the current amount of inventory, whereas previously it was about a little over a month for the amount of time for inventory. We're seeing average sales prices around $376. So where you do see a little bit of an increase with the inventory, though, you see that the prices have remained healthy, actually a little bit of an increase last month. But what we'll start to see is the more inventory that we have, those prices will stabilize and then at some point go down.
Okay. Yeah, because 370 for our area, that's pretty much it. It's gone up from last year.
Yeah.
And that's how, because this is the number one question that I get, and I'm sure you get this as well, whenever we either introduce ourselves as a real estate agent or when a client is talking to us. The number one question is, so how's the market going?
Yes.
So I wanted to get that there, that this is how the market is going.
Well, typically August is a little bit of a slower month too, because you have a lot of people that go on vacation, college students go back to school, and then you have your, regular elementary through high school hitting in September. So now the big push that we'll see is going to be a lot of people are going to want to be in the home before the holidays and ideally before the new year.
Yep, and the holidays. I actually have a client who wants to get in before February. So yes, that's a prime time for people to get into houses.
Yes.
Now, speaking of that prime time of getting into houses during the before holidays and New Year, schools are important for some buyers. They want to get in before school starts. So what months do we typically see that?
So if you would like to be in before the start of a school year, ideally you want to be looking at the end of the school year, around May and June, because the process from start to finish, from finding a home as well as closing on it, you're looking about 2 to 3 months. So it's kind of like when you go into the store and you see, already they have Halloween stuff and Christmas stuff, and you're like, it's not even here yet, but they're planning ahead. So it's the same thing. When you're looking to sell for a certain time and you're looking to purchase for a certain time, you need to be ahead of that curve so that you can get there on your deadline.
And that's exactly why I asked this question, is because it does take about 3 months for the entire process,
Yes.
which is the next question that I wanted to go into, is the process. So I'm a new buyer, or I'm a purchaser, and I don't know anything about real estate.
Well,
I'm acting.
It's common. Despite what HGTV shows us, there's a lot more involved. Typically, it doesn't take 3 houses to decide on one, especially in this market. So the first thing you want to do if you're not purchasing cash is you want to connect with a lender to see what you're pre-approved for. Once we know that, then we could kind of break down, if you're approved for a certain amount, it doesn't necessarily mean that you want to spend it. We can kind of break down what your monthly payments would be based on the houses and taxes that you're looking at. We also want to know criteria. Speaking of schools, if there's a certain school district that you'd like to stay in or you're interested in moving to. So we kind of take a look at all of that, and then we can get started once you're pre-approved and we have all your criteria, and start the home search.
Oh, that's awesome. So first we're looking at the approval or the funding, how your houses are going to be funded, how your house will be funded.
Yes.
Now we're looking at our ambassadors, I like to call it.
Okay.
Our ambassadors for the home purchaser or the home seller, which is next the lender. So the lender is going to go over numbers. So you want to find somebody who you trust.
Correct. So we have a team that we work with typically. So we have several lenders that we can refer out that we know are going to work well with everyone, with the realtor, with the attorneys, but most importantly, with our clients, that they're going to be looking out for your best interest. And then certain lenders offer different things based on what you're looking to do. If you're a first-time home buyer, maybe it's for your move-up home. So we help to pair you with the correct one.
Yeah, and then with pairing with the correct one, you want to look at also different opportunities that you can have as either a first-time home purchaser, or if you're a veteran, or anything that you can be qualified for. And the lenders that we work with are very trustworthy, and we can, depending on the situation, like Kat said, pair you up with the right one.
Yes, they'll fit you where you need to go based on your circumstances as far as mortgage is concerned, and what is out there and available to you, different programs.
Yep. And then the second thing is criteria, like you said. Another team or ambassador that I would say is you need, like as a first-time home purchaser, and I remember when I first purchased a house, is I didn't have a lawyer.
Yes.
And when my real estate agent asked me, do you have a lawyer? I was like, what do you mean? What? So that's part of the process too.
Yes.
You want to go over it.
Yes. So it's the same thing, just like finding the right agent and lender that's going to look out for your best interest. You want the same exact thing with an attorney, and you want someone. One of the most important things I think we've taken away out of our real estate career is you need someone that's going to look out for your best interest, find if there's any stipulations in the contract that might hurt you. And also anything, they have to review title. They want to catch things that need to be reviewed prior to you closing. And you also want an attorney that's going to be responsive and communicate with the realtors, with everybody that needs to be communicated with. You don't want somebody where you can't get in touch with them. You're calling, you're emailing, carrier pigeon, no response. That's not good.
And that's what I love. I love that. Finding someone that is working in your best interest.
Yeah.
So we're looking for a fiduciary. We're all fiduciaries. We want to find the person that's acting as that fiduciary. So I love that.
Yeah, you don't want someone that's just going to take your money at closing and that's the most that you see them. You want them to sit down and clearly explain everything to you as far as the contract's concerned and all the other steps necessary.
Yep. So we're looking for, I'm just going to write that down here, looking for, your best interest. So, that's great. Now that there's something that you said when you were talking about that is finding something that may not hurt you through this stipulation, through the contracts.
Yes.
And of course, we're not lawyers, so we're not giving any law advice. I just wanted to point that out. We're not giving any advice on law or anything. Can you, Kat, give us some tips as a purchaser of what not to do when we're looking for a house?
Lots. Yes. So, we understand that not everyone has a full, like you said, you're acting as a brand new buyer. You don't know anything about real estate. So there's things like we do this every day that we realize, we have to kind of break it down for you. It's just like if somebody was to explain open heart surgery to me. I have no clue about that. I would need somebody to clearly explain every step. So important things that you don't want to do when you're actually in the process of purchasing. So let's say now, you found your home, you have an accepted offer, you're on your way. Our job is to get you to the closing table. So some critical things which your lender will most likely go over with you as well is when purchasing, you don't want to take out any new lines of credit or any major purchases. And that includes buying or leasing a vehicle. That's considered a major purchase. You are free to look at furniture and appliances all you want. Don't open any credit for them and don't purchase any of them until after you close, because that can hurt you. Just as simple as an appliance package for the home can hurt you from being able to close on the house. So small things like that you want to pay attention to. Other things that I would say, a lot of lenders tell you do not switch jobs in the middle of purchasing. That also includes not quitting. That's not going to help you.
Okay, so don't quit your job.
No quitting your job.
Okay.
No changing your job.
No changing job. Don't quit. Don't change your job. Don't apply for. Don't buy new furniture. Don't apply to purchase new furniture. Don't buy a new car.
Yep. No buying or leasing.
No buying or leasing.
I had that issue with the buyer where they were like, well, I didn't buy it, I leased it, but that still counts. So no buying or leasing counts. And most importantly, just make your payments on time as you already had prior to getting pre-approved for a mortgage, and make sure you stay on top of things. And after you close, then go nuts at Lowe's or Sears, or you want to get the appliance package then and put it on credit, go for it.
That's awesome. So what I'm hearing, Kat, is during this process to purchase a home as a new home buyer, or you don't have to be a new home buyer, but as a home purchaser, a buyer who especially is purchasing through financing, this is a critical time where we need to lay low.
Yes.
Okay.
Very. And, a lot of times I tell people to, go buy yourself the thing of Starbucks coffee instead of going there every day. Just little things to kind of help, save extra money so that you have money for, one, your down payment, but also you want to have money for your closing costs as well. So there's different areas where you can kind of like cut back and penny pinch, as they say, to make sure that you have more than enough to be able to move forward with the process.
That is awesome. That is. So it is a process, a critical one, where we are cautious of our finances.
Yes.
We are cautious of anything that may hurt our finances.
Yes.
That finances, such as losing a job, or quitting a job.
Quitting or switching jobs, yeah.
Or switching a job. So I remember, actually, now that you mentioned that I had a buyer who was a while ago. They were working, had a wonderful job. They were working there for quite some time, for like a few years.
Mm-hmm.
And then during the process of having an accepted offer, changed jobs.
Oh no.
Yeah. So we had to wait. we had to wait, I think 3 to 6 months to get
put you
pay
behind.
stubs. Yep. So that can definitely, something as small as that, even though that it was giving you more money, something as small as that may be a big change for you, but a little switch like that will pivot the entire the time to close.
And that house that you were interested in, that's no longer going to be available to you.
Yeah.
So it's something, you know, if you're considering changing jobs or you get a better opportunity, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
But try to, you know, work with it where you do it prior to getting pre-approved, or, you know, if necessary, it's important to communicate with the lender on how it's going to affect you if you do it during the process.
So I love that. I love what you just mentioned, Kat, because this is really important. Communication.
Yes, communication is key. They say there's no such thing as a stupid question. That's not true. But you do still need to ask them. So anything that, you know, might come up in your head, if you're not sure of, ask us, no matter how ridiculous it might sound. Because I actually just went through this experience where we were set to close. The buyer quit their job 2 weeks prior to closing. The week of closing, when they did a verification of employment again, that's when it was discovered. They called and said, you know, I quit my job. Is this going to affect me? And it definitely affected her and her family. So she was not able to purchase. Now, fast forward a few months, and they are in a position to purchase again. But unfortunately, we lost the home that she was interested in. If she had communicated prior to what was going on, we might have been able to salvage that.
So communication is key.
Yes.
Communication. And this is so important. I feel like this is the theme for my week. Communication is a theme for my week. I have 3 children, and they're all. I have 2 that are in a similar age range, and then one who's like a huge 10 to 11 year gap.
She's the little one. You probably often hear her in the back when she's doing her videos.
Yeah, you do. Everyone knows them in there. She says, "Hi, mommy's fans. Hi, mommy's friends."
Yes, she loves being on camera.
She does. She loves the camera. I was working on having conversations with my teenagers, and so communication, and I was talking on a mastermind yesterday, and actually 2 masterminds yesterday, about communication.
She's always a busy bee.
and this is where I found that we can all always work on that. It does not matter who we are or where we are in our life. We can always work on bettering ourselves and communicating with each other. And like Kat said earlier during the podcast, she's got a app for everything and a book for everything. My dear friend Bob Berg had mentioned this book, and I started reading it yesterday once he mentioned it to me. I had it on my shelf for months. Crucial Conversations.
Yes.
It's so important when, and part of in the book, in the beginning of the book, he talks about crucial conversations being, and it's the authors are Patterson and a few other authors. He talks about when is it good to have a crucial conversation. And one of the subjects in there is when the stakes are high. When the stakes are high, having a crucial conversation is so important. So when you're purchasing a house and you have a major decision like a job change, and that career may increase the amount of your salary, have a crucial conversation.
Yes. Reach out, communicate with your realtor, with your lender, and see what the best route is for you. Because speaking of crucial conversations, and talking about things, this is one of the biggest purchases you're going to make in your lifetime. And you want to make sure that you do it the right way, that you set up and that you communicate effectively. That way we can get you where you're looking to go.
Helping you through this journey and getting you to that goal. So I love your motto, Kat, because you just said it, because you love helping people get to where they need to go.
Yes.
Can you please let us know what is, and before I just need to get closer, what's your motto?
So my motto is, your goals are my goals. So whatever we sit down and you tell me your interests are and what you're looking to do, I make it personal and I make it my business to achieve those goals as though they were my own.
That is amazing. And if you want to learn more about that, how can we? Well, if the viewer here wants to know more about that, and connect with you and get their goals achieved through your help, how can they do that?
So I'm available to sit down with everyone, either in person or via Zoom, whatever you're comfortable with. I can be reached pretty much any way, through social media, cell, email, carrier pigeon. If I see one show up with the scroll, I'll know to open and read it.
Here's something that Kat just reminded me of with the carrier pigeon, because
Kids today probably won't know what that means.
she taught me one thing early on in my career. When so purchasing your house or selling your house, either way, when you have a professional helping you and you want to move forward and get to this closing table as quickly as possible, sometimes there are bumps in the road.
Yes.
And sometimes the mail that was sent out doesn't get on time to whoever it needs to get sent out to, i.e., a lawyer, a contract. So, as a real, like, this is something so amazing about Kat, and I've learned this from her. Take that contract and you go deliver it
Hand delivered. Yes.
personally. So I love that.
It gets
that.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it just helps to make the process a little bit quicker, but it's there and it's ready to go.
Yeah.
Especially in this market, things are moving fairly quickly and you want to get your offers in right away when you find the home that you like. And I call it hurry up and wait. You want to hurry up and get your offer in, you want to get your home inspection, you want to sign the contract, and then you could breathe. Yeah.
Then breathe.
Yes. Don't breathe before that.
So that's one of the, I really love that about, and I put that in my own practice as well. I remember, so I had a seller who had already, he was already looking at his properties and he was traveling down south. And because he wasn't in New York State, we had to get everything to him on time to get signed and back.
Coordinated, yeah.
Yep. And so he never received the contract. And so thankfully, with the systems that we have electronic signatures that can go out. And so I've made it to the point where he was able to get that contract and sign it and get it to the lawyer as soon as possible.
Yes.
And then within a day, he got that done because he was able to do everything online. And then we were able to move forward with the sale so that he could close and move where he wanted to move. So it doesn't matter if it's just, hand delivery. That includes technology, going hopping in your car, maybe giving it to a pigeon and making him fly away. But you want to make sure that all the necessary documents are going to, even when it goes
where they need to be,
yeah. Even if it's a mortgage or an appraisal that needs to get done, you want to make sure every document, the tracking, that's where I'm getting to. Tracking where the process, that whole process, and tracking where the status of this closing will go or this sale will go, this is where we become also the glue.
Yes, we
The
make
glue to the
sure
transaction.
everything sticks together.
Yep.
And that's one great thing about having a realtor, regardless of buying or selling, is that we can communicate with everyone. We can communicate with the attorney looking out for your best interests. We can communicate with the seller's attorney, the lender, the appraiser, the home inspector, and just make sure that everything is moving along and on task. And if there's any things that come up, if we don't have the solution for it already, we look to find it for you immediately.
Solution seeker.
There's usually a solution for every problem. People freak out, but there's usually an answer for it.
Oh, that is awesome. So, solution seeker, you're looking for a professional real estate salesperson that is not only going to look for your best interest, they are also going to be that solution seeker for anything that will come in the way between you and the sale of your home, or the sale of your house, either if you're purchasing or
if you're buying. Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you, Kat. This was so awesome. So I don't know if you tasted.
Not yet. I was afraid it was a little hot, but
so Catherine's going to be the first guest to actually get a taste of it.
Oh my gosh, that's delicious.
Thank you.
I like this.
Unfortunately, I've been it's been through Zoom,
That's
so I would
first experience with real chai tea. Not this little tea bag thing. This was made fresh, and this is really good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So yes, it's so nice to be able to have jaw time with Realtor G. I started this almost about a month and a half ago, and I look forward to doing this every week. And so if anybody has any ideas, if you're looking at this and you're watching this, I want to be able to share this with all of my guests while we're on, and how I can get it delivered to them.
Yes.
And then give them a little bit of an instruction manual on how to make it so that we could enjoy this together. I'm so happy to share this with Kat in person, where I officially made it on my own, and was able to share it together with her versus making it in your kitchen. But I would
probably wouldn't have made it as good, even if you sent me instructions.
I'm sure you would have, but I would love if you guys could put in the comment if you have any questions, how to make jaw, or any questions on purchasing a house, selling a house, the process, because it is a whole process.
Yes.
Questions that you may have, that anybody you know may have, and if you know anybody that does have real estate questions and is seriously looking into purchasing a house or selling their house, do reach out to Katherine or myself, and we are here to help you guys. We're here to help everyone in our audience and in Suffolk County.
Yeah, we want to help make it as smooth a process as we possibly can, whether you are selling or buying. And there's probably many questions and concerns you might have, and we're here to answer those.
Yes, we are.
Help ease.
Yeah, we are. Katherine had a referral. She actually had a client that was moving out to Connecticut, I think. Moving out to Connecticut?
Yeah.
And she was able to help that person as well through referring her to somebody that's on her team there.
Yes.
And she was able to help her. So we're not limited to New York.
Yep. We focus mainly on Suffolk County, but we're all over New York and country and
so we can get you connected to the right person. We have teams all over not just the United States, but internationally as well. So when we say any real estate question, do ask.
Yes.
Thank you guys for joining us today. We appreciate all of your support, and we thank you for trusting us with your real estate needs. Do you want to close?
This is Realtor Quinn for the win. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for the tea, and I'm happy to help. Your goals are my goals.
Thank you. And thank you, Kat, for joining and giving us your time today.
My
We
pleasure.
appreciate you. Have a great day, guys.
Bye.